20 qualified sales calls per month on your calendar, all on a performance basis, so you can predictably increase your revenue without relying on referrals, without having to hire, pay, and manage a sales rep, without having to spend 10 to 15 hours a week prospecting yourself, without having to risk tens of thousands of dollars in marketing that isn't guaranteed to work. And we will do so by creating and operating a client acquisition system with cold email as its success mechanism that can generate qualified sales calls on autopilot without you needing to lift a finger for it. Hi, my name is Amadou Kebe. I'm the founder at Kebe Acquisition. If you landed on this page, it probably means you are interested in finding a way to get a consistent flow of clients month after month. In this video, I'll explain the exact strategy that allows me to book more than 15 qualified sales calls per month, all on autopilot. Actually, you might have been a victim of this very system. And if that's so, you probably realize just how effective it is. So this is how I'm going to structure this video. I'm going to explain first for whom does this strategy not work. Then I'm going to go on to how to actually leverage high volume cold email campaigns to predictably book highly qualified sales calls. Then I'm going to explain why people fail with cold email, right? Because a lot of people actually do cold email and very few people actually see success with it. So why do people fail with cold email? Then I'm going to explain how long it takes to see results with cold email. I'm going to explain what are our deliverables, so what we actually do for you, how the pricing works, and the ROI works. So for whom does this client acquisition system not work? If you are a B2C company with direct-to-consumer products or services, a freelancer or businesses that has no previously achieved results for clients or are starting from scratch, a business with an average customer lifetime value lower than $3,000, or a business with a total addressable market lower than $10,000, then they see $10,000, lower than 10,000 people, then we will not be able to achieve results for you. So if you identify yourself in any one of these categories, please just click off the video. You don't this won't work for you. You're just losing your time. If instead you don't identify yourself in any of these, keep watching. So how do we leverage a high volume cold email campaign to predictably book highly qualified sales calls month after month, right? So the first step is setting up the email infrastructure. You have to understand only 3% of your TAM, your total addressable market, will ever be in a ready to buy position at any given moment, right? The main thing that's stopping you from reaching your revenue and profit goals is that your offer is not getting in front of enough people belonging to that 3%, right? So just think about it. So, how many people would you have to connect with before even reaching someone who needs your services, let alone convince them to book a meeting with you, right? It's too many people, right? This is why it's crucial to always put your offer in front of as many people in your market as possible. It's just a matter of simple mathematics before people actually start converting into clients. As a business owner, as a freelancer, if you want to scale, if you want to get more clients, the number one thing you have to worry about is how much traffic you're getting to your offer. How many people who could potentially work with you, well, how many prospects are actually seeing your offer, right? That's the most important thing, right? The problem is that putting your offer in front of thousands of people is always expensive, no matter if you're paying with money, so using ads, or paying with time, doing prospecting manually. And this is exactly where cold email comes into place, right? It is the most cost effective way to acquire customers. Just think about it. Email marketing has an on average a 30x ROI, 37x ROI. It's crazy, especially if you create a system that can automate the entire process. But obviously, it's not all roses and flowers, right? People are receiving more cold emails than ever before. So it's absolutely necessary for your campaigns to send out high volumes while avoiding going into the spam, and at the same time keeping a high level of personalization. And we can achieve this by first setting up the technical email infrastructure. Email providers nowadays are more aggressive than ever when it comes to detecting non human activity, right? And they will just flag your account and domains at the first sight of non human activity, forcing you to land into spam permanently or even worse, get banned. So how do we avoid the spam filters? We use simple domains, multiple domains, without any weird numbers or signs. No, no, no. We use simple domains, simple name domains, and we use multiple of them. Each domain having a lower amount of inboxes, right? So 2 to 4 inboxes per domain, so not many email accounts, so that the sending volume overall is spread out throughout the domains and the email accounts and it stays low per domain while making the email activity across the entirety of the email accounts and domains look more regular, right? That's how it works. We then set up the DMARC, SPF, and DKIM records, right? We make sure that the emails are properly warmed up to simulate normal sending activity. By doing this, we increase massively the reputation of the accounts with the email providers and drastically reduce the chances of getting marked as spam. This is crucial, right? Because if the emails land in the spam, it doesn't matter how many emails you're sending. The offer is just not getting enough traffic because they're not seeing it. Nobody opens their fucking spam, right? So this is crucial. We have to keep high volume, but we have to divide it into multiple domains and multiple email accounts so that we can actually send a lot of emails without ever getting flagged as spam or even worse, banned from the email providers, right? The next step is lead sourcing and data scraping, right? You don't, because the reality is you don't just want calls with just anyone. You want to talk to the decision makers of companies that have specific characteristics, right? That can be a specific industry, specific location, right? Specific size or technologies, particular technologies used, right? We manually source data lists of prospects based on the parameters that allow you to specifically book highly qualified sales calls. But that's not it. Like there is another issue, and that issue is making sure that those leads that we sourced are valid. Because the reality is that the market constantly shifts, right? New companies rise and fall every day. People switch jobs every day. That it just simply gets old. So we need to make sure that the emails that we actually scrape are not invalidated. And we do that by verifying them one by one with a specific process so that we make sure that when we actually send the emails, they don't bounce, they land in their inboxes, and we avoid getting marked as spam. The other step is positioning and effective copy, right? So getting your emails sent to your prospect's primary tab is just not enough to book a call with them. It's not that every email that's going to get sent is going to book a call. That's not how it works. You have to actually properly position your offer with clear, relevant, and direct copy, right? We not only write the copy for you, but we split test it with A/B testing to figure out the best combination of words that most appeals to your prospects. But even if we do all of this, some prospects might still not be interested right away, or they might have been too busy to have seen your email, right? That's normal. It happens. Like you don't check your email every day, 15 times a day. Sometimes you miss it. Or maybe at that point in time, they just were not interested in working with you. That's why we also design a sequence of 3 or more follow ups per prospect to maximize the chances of them seeing your offer at the right time in the right condition, and so maximizing the number of meetings booked, right? Then obviously the next step is just handling the responses. So when you reach out to cold prospects, any little inconvenience can lose a deal. If you reply too late, you might lose a deal. If the reply is not direct, precise, if the reply is not well thought out, you might lose the deal. If you can't properly find the time that works for both of you, you might lose a deal. That's why, precisely why it's crucial to reply to their questions and answers as fast as possible. This is basically a job in and of itself, right? Speed equals money. The faster you do things, the more meetings you book, the more sales calls you have, the more calls you close, the more money you make. Hence why we also take care of handling all of the replies and making sure that the interested prospects book in while also addressing all of their inquiries regarding your offer. And we do this with speeds that you cannot imagine. We reply just like this, quickly. As soon as we get the email, we reply fast. We have people on team whose sole purpose is replying to these emails, right? And sometimes it happens, if necessary, our team will just confront with your team to ensure that all the replies align with your company culture and principles, right? So there is no issue on the replying. We have to maximize how many people that reply to us actually book meetings with you, right? The next step, obviously, we have the replies. We're starting to book meetings. We need to track the metrics and to create proper reportings, right? So as you run your campaigns, we're going to collect especially precious feedback from the market in the form of how many emails were applied, how many positive replies we've gotten, how many meetings we've booked, and how many deals we closed, right? This data is the last infinity stone to achieving a predictable flow of highly qualified sales calls month after month. We can use this data to analyze the healthiness of your current campaigns, optimize them to drive the most results, and reiterate this process all over again as many times as it's needed until we achieve the golden formula for the specific market. Metrics and KPIs will be shared on a regular basis through our weekly reports, right? This is it. This is how our system for running cold email campaigns works. But people have been running cold email campaigns for years now. And not everybody has great success. Not everybody books hundreds of sales calls. So why do people fail with cold email? Let's get this straight. Well, cold email is to this day one of the best vehicles to drive lead flow. But as we've seen, there are so many components to it, all crucial to the success of any given campaign. Right? There's so many things to do when it comes to cold email. Right? So many things. And that's where most people fail. Because if even one thing, maybe it's deliverability, maybe it's positioning, is not nailed absolutely perfectly, the campaign will just not succeed no matter how well the other things are done. The execution must be perfect. And that's why we have a trained team of experts handling the entire process. That's what makes the difference. We've nailed the equation necessary to find the golden formula. And that's why we're not scared to have a pay on results model. We make money when you make money, right? Okay, now you might have been like, oh, okay, this can work, but how long will it take for me to get results? You see, most clients just they see the first meeting books within 1 or 2 weeks of the campaigns going live. But there are so many factors that this depends on, like the totally addressable market, the amount of social proof the offer has, how bold the claims are, how good the offer actually is, how much the market actually wants the offer, etc., right? So obviously, there's an onboarding time and the onboarding process and the time that is necessary to set up the email infrastructure and campaigns. Set up everything takes no more than 2 weeks, considering also the warm up of the emails. So let's say you book a call with us tomorrow. Tomorrow we have the call, sign the contract. In 2 weeks, you will start seeing replies from interested prospects. And in 3 weeks, you will start seeing meetings being booked into your calendar or your salespeople's calendar. Right? But the beauty of this system is that even after you start booking meetings, because the system is automated, there's only so much. It just needs a little bit of management and updates throughout the time, and then it just works for you automatically, right? Keeps working for you 24/7. Doesn't need any days of rest. Doesn't need sick days. Doesn't need holidays, vacation. None of that. It works for you all the time. It's a machine that produces revenue for your company. So what do we actually do for you? What are our deliverables, right? So this is a list of everything that we do for you. So you just understand just how much work goes into doing all of this. So we onboard you and create the channels, the communication channels, right? So all of that, we make sure that communication is always on top, everything. We build the email infrastructure. This entire thing, we build it for you. We build it for you, right? We build the email infrastructure. We buy the domains. We set up the users. We set up the DMARC and SPF, the DKIM records. We set up website forwarding. So every domain, when they get a cold email from you, they're gonna see the domain, the sending domain. They're gonna be like, oh, let me look this up. When they look it up on Google, they go into your landing page. So they actually realize this is a real person who's doing real stuff, right? Then we create the master inbox with the CRM. So even though we're using multiple email accounts, tens of email accounts, every reply you get goes into one inbox. So we can clearly manage it, and we can clearly set up all of the stuff right. Then we add the emails to a warm-up tool. We have to warm up the emails if we don't want them to go to spam, right? And we warm them up properly for you. Then we scrape the initial assets for review, right? We develop the initial marketing thesis, the ICP. We search the databases and iterate until all the leads look congruent to the ICP. We scrape the sample leads, we develop the email sequence, and we put everything in a folder for you to review at any time. We then set up a call to set the expectations of this email campaign. We review all the campaign assets that we built for you. We iterate and improve on the campaign assets based on your feedback. We get approval and we clear out on the next steps. And then, if you don't have a calendar, we just create one for you. We then go into writing the full email sequence, not a draft, the full thing now. We use the info we gathered from the strategy call to update the draft that we previously made. We build out the A/B split tests, and we build out the full email sequence, and we keep doing that until everything is set up, right? Then we scrape the full lead list, right? We update the filters based on our strategy conversation. We scrape the entire lead list. We enrich the emails with further information to have better data. We validate the list and we pull out the invalidated emails. Yes, that's right, because only getting the emails is not enough. You have to make sure that the emails are still validated, and we make sure that the emails will not bounce, right? And then we form a delete list. We get the final approval from you for all the campaign assets, and we make sure everything is perfect before signing off on it. And then we launch the campaign. We upload everything into our sending tool. We add spin text to the email copy across the entire sequence. Now, this is something nobody else is doing, right? If you're interested in knowing what spin text is, book a call with us, right? I'll personally explain to you how it works. Nobody else is doing this. It's a way to make the emails personalized, even if we're mass sending them. So we can, so you see, people think it's a dichotomy of either doing high quality cold outreach or focusing on high sending volumes. No, 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 no. We use non-binary thinking, right? And we do both. We send high quality, highly personalized cold emails to thousands of prospects. That's how we gain the advantage. Then we set up the campaign settings and everything in accordance to the email campaigns. We handle all the responses for you. We closely monitor the campaigns and go through internal feedback loops to develop more templates. We respond to the inboxes promptly on your behalf. We follow up with leads until the meetings are fully booked into your calendar, and we book meetings on your calendar on autopilot. Then we send weekly KPI reports. We send reports on sends, replies, policy replies, and meetings booked. We report on how the week went and any relevant updates, and we future paste anything that needs to happen in the future, right? Then we iterate, we optimize, and we launch new campaigns. We update the campaigns based on the split test. We find the winning formula and we update the campaigns based on that. We iterate the campaign strategy based on the results. So based on the feedback we get from the market, we try to make the campaigns always better, and we update the new campaigns based on the needs. Literally, the only thing that we don't do for you at this point is booking your dream vacation with the money that you make from us, right? So, how does the pricing and the ROI work? I already mentioned it, right? But we only get paid when you get results. We have a performance based deal where we only get paid per qualified call that you get in your calendar. So, but this is what we define as a qualified call. A qualified call is a meeting booked as a result of our outreach, a call that you choose to take. If you think they are unqualified, we cancel the meeting and we do not bill. We are not scammers. We don't do, it's a paper meeting and then you only get meetings with unqualified calls. No, 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 no. If you don't deem the call qualified, you can not take the call, and we don't bill, so we don't make any money from that. And finally, it's a prospect that shows up to the call at the scheduled time. We also have a small one-time setup fee that we use to cover the tech costs. The software, the buying domains, setting up the email inboxes, all of that has a cost. That setup fee has the purpose of covering those costs. The beauty is that setup fee is 100% refundable. On our first call, we will strategize and we will set some goals and some objectives. If we do not achieve together, we will do it together, us together, me and you, right? If we don't achieve those results, even the setup fee is refundable. We will give you back the money, right? So there's no risk on your end. We take all the risk on our side. There's no risk whatsoever on your end. You only pay when you get what you want. Obviously, we tailor our prices from client to client based on their offer, targeting the volume they want to do, the overall needs they have. So as far as the ROI you can expect, let me tell you this. If we are a good fit together, which we will analyze on our first call, and if you are capable of closing at the minimum rate of 10%, so of every 10 calls that we book into your calendar, if you're capable out of 10 highly qualified sales calls of closing at least one of them, it is literally mathematically impossible for you not to get an ROI. Literally, it's impossible. Literally impossible. Matter of fact, we will not work with you if after going through the numbers on a call, you think it's too risky. Oh, I think it's too risky. It is neither of our best interests as we get paid on performance and we will invest time and money into something that might ultimately lose us money, as how we make our money is through long-term partnerships. Bear in mind, the cost for the softwares and the buying domains and setting up the email inboxes, that's the monthly recurring cost. So what a lot of people do is that they charge that as a management fee. We don't do that because we're so confident we're going to book you so many calls that we don't do that. You only cover the cost the first month because there's the 2 week warm up process. That's 2 weeks where we don't do outreach. So because it takes just like the warm up process, setting things up takes time, and so for literally for more than 2 weeks, we won't see any money coming in. We are only waiting for you to make money before we make any money on this, right? And if you're interested in actually seeing how much revenue you can drive from this, just go down and you will see a calculator, a revenue calculator below this video. You can check out exactly how much revenue you will drive if you decided to work with us. I'm assuming you just checked out the revenue calculator. Hope you paused the video, go check it out. That's how much money we could drive you by working with us for a month. If you think you're a good fit or you want to find out, just book a call with me. You will book a call with me personally, and we'll assess together whether or not this is something that might work for you. Right? That's it. That's it, man. All right. So you will find a book a call button below here. Press the call, book the call, and see if we can actually, if you're a good fit, we can actually drive you the revenue that you just saw on the calculator month after month. I'll hopefully see you on the call, and we'll hopefully make a ton of money together. Right. Peace.